everyone, Sarah here. Okay, so, this is a refilm. Alright, in my defense, this is a complete refilm. I had this video filmed on Sunday, and then I did not realize, but my phone has a feature where it will save it as you see it on the screen, meaning every single book I held up, the writing was backwards. That was not okay with me, so then I went to go and see if my video editor or any online editor that I could use for free would flip the video the right way around. It was not. In other news, I may be looking to get a new video editor. If you can point me towards a really good one, I would appreciate it. So, I just want to say in my defense, I had this filmed earlier. But I finally figured out the right wording for Google to understand what I wanted and got it sussed out so it won't do that anymore. And I did test. Alright, so we are doing, it's a tag video today, guys. And it is the mid-year book freakout tag. And I know I'm a little bit late for mid-year, but I was doing the reading rush when everyone else was doing the mid-year book freakout. And oh my goodness, I'm freaking out! I've read nothing. Nothing has been read. I got out all of the books that I've read this year that I've noticed. It's this plus the first Percy Jackson book. And the Kane Chronicles graphic novel. This is it for books I've read this year. This is it. This is all I've read. This is pathetic. Okay, I've almost finished White Fragility. I've misplaced the actual book, but I have the audiobook and I will finish it. Yeah. But in other news, be patient with me during the upload of the next couple of weeks because I have placement. Yes, I have placement. You heard that correctly. Why are you only getting alerted now? Because I only found out yesterday that I had actually had one because my original placement was cancelled, and then yesterday we got a bunch of emails being like, hey, we've got some vacancies, would anyone be interested? And I was like, sure, I'd love to. And I got the confirmation. It's like, yeah, you're doing the placement. And I was like, okay. Great, I've prepared nothing. And since we're in stage 4 lockdown, Officeworks is only doing click and collect and I can't go in there to buy printer paper. So my brother has volunteered to go to the supermarket tomorrow to get some. But I'm a little bit stressed over that. By a little, I mean a lot. And I did 2 assessments today in my practical class. I passed, but still. That hasn't helped. Anyway, that's not what this video is about. That is a PCA. Okay, so the best book I've read so far in 2020. That is A Clash of Kings by George R.R. Martin. This book was fabulous. It had everything I ever wanted in a book from Westeros. It had Tyrion being fabulous. It had Brienne of Tarth. It had the Starks and their warging powers and the freaking Weirwoods coming together. I'm so excited. And the only person of consequence who really died was Renly. I mean, Maester Lunwyn died, and I'm very sad about that. Watch my reading rush if you want to get my true reaction on Maester Lunwyn's death. There were tears. I was very upset. And Maester Crescent's dead. We've lost 2 of the best Maesters in Westeros. In one book. That's not good. But the only other person who really died that I made note of was Renly Baratheon, and he was an idiot, so I don't really care. So, all in all, for me, this was a brilliant book. I loved it. Okay. Best sequel you've read so far in 2020? A Clash of Kings. But also, I think Lemonade Mouth Puckers Up is a very good sequel. Disney Channel, why did you not make a movie of this one as well? Please. It's so good. With the same actors. New release you haven't read yet but want to? Okay. This is a little bit of a lie, but Love Creekwood, I've started it, but it only came in the mail today, so it counts. I haven't read it yet. I will have read it by the end of today, but Love Creekwood. My babies are back. They're here to stay. But it's so small. Look at you, tiny, itty bitty. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I'll give you one guess. That's right. The 5th book in the Trials of Apollo series, The Tower of Nero! It's the final book. The final book in the Percy Jackson universe. At least Rick Riordan blesses us with some more. I am so nervous and so excited, and I'm pre-ordering it, and Lord knows when that means it will actually arrive, but I will pre-order it. Okay, I will read it as soon as I get my hands on it, and I will be reading the rest of the Trials of Apollo series in preparation. Yeah, I'm setting myself up for a daunting task with that, but, you know, I was originally going to have these next 2 weeks off, but now I've got placement. I don't know, it's going to be interesting times. Okay. Biggest disappointment. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. All of the books I've read this year, I really, really enjoyed. There hasn't really been a major disappointment for me. So the closest I can equate is this Marvel Rising comic, because I started with the cartoon, and going by the picture on the cover of this, I was expecting to see Patriot. There was no Patriot, which means there was no Squirrel and Patriot, which means there was no development in their relationship, and they're my favorite ship. So that was a disappointment. But the story that word has just escaped me. But the story itself was really, really good, and I really enjoyed it. I just wish we had Squirrel Girl and Patriot being fabulous together. Especially since I don't know if we're getting any more Marvel Rising cartoons. I know nothing. I am Jon Snow. Biggest surprise? Okay. White Fragility, I would say. Because that book has really gotten me to think. Like, I know everyone said it would get me to think. But still, it really got me to think. If you want to know my thoughts on that, go to my Reading Rush vlog, okay? I've got so many thoughts that have come out with that, and I need to get them all down on paper somehow so I can do a book talk for it, but I highly recommend that book. It really, really gets you to think. And the other one, because I did read this year, A Game of Thrones by George R. R. Martin. I loved it. I was not expecting to love it as much as I did. I adore this. It is fabulous. You should read it. Okay, favorite new author, debut, or new to you? So, the author of Lemonade Mouth, Mark Peter Hughes, I guess, because I thought the writing style in this was fabulous. I really need to do a book talk for these. But the writing style itself was fabulous in this. I loved it. And it was different. It felt different to anything else I'd read. So. And of course, I'll give it up for George R. Martin. You've done it. I love your books. Now write Winds of Winter and I'll be happy with you. Not completely happy because we're still waiting for A Dream of Spring as well, but at least you'll have made progress. It looks like he's getting closer, but newest fictional crush, that is Reed from The Upside Down of Unrequited Love. I generally don't get fictional crushes, I really don't. I get characters whom I love and adore, but I don't get crushes on them. But Reed, honestly, he had me going, where's my Reed? Where is this boy in real life? Where's my Reed? I want my sweet natty boy too. So, yeah. A book that made you cry. No, wait. The next one is newest favorite character. Now, I wasn't sure if this counted, but I did read this for the first time this year. So, Tyrion Lannister. Because, well, I loved Brienne of Tarth before I read the books, and I liked Tyrion a lot. My love for him truly cemented in reading A Clash of Kings and A Game of Thrones. My love for him knows no bounds now. I'm like, Tyrion, my babe. But also, I'm like, I've heard you go downhill after. It's not A Storm of Swords, I think. It's the one after that one. It's the one after A Storm of Swords. A Feast for Crows. It's either during that or after. It's after he gets framed for Joffrey's murder that I've heard he loses the plot a bit. And I'm like, I'm not going to look forward to reading that. Because apparently they didn't quite show how bad he lost it in the show. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to enjoy this. A book that made you cry? Well, if you watch my reading rush, I absolutely sobbed during this one. Because I thought the couple wasn't going to get together and I was not okay with this on any term at all. I was not okay. Yeah, it wasn't pretty. Sorry about that sudden light change, but the sun decided to play hide and seek with the clouds. So I've put my overhead light on. And I also cried with this one when my Stellan died. I was not okay. I'm still not okay. He was such a good man. A book that made you happy. Okay. Percy Jackson always makes me very happy. Oh, that was another book I read this year. This always makes me extremely happy. And the other book I read this year, how could I forget? Camp Jupiter Classified by Rick Riordan. He did, this did make me happy, but Rick Riordan's books always make me happy. It's Rick Riordan. Even in the most heartbreaking one, the Third Trials of Apollo, I was still happy reading it, just not during that particular moment. And the other thing I would say is Calvin and Hobbes. I'm always happy. I always go to it when I just need a quick read. It's by Bill Watterson, and it's just comics. I have it on Audible, so not Audible, sorry. I have it on Kindle, the app, so I can just read them whenever I want on my phone. Or I can pick up the book, but you saw by that tape, these books are not doing very well anymore. They're very battered. They're very well loved. But that's not a serious read, so I don't count that. I've read that over 100 times, probably. Most beautiful book. Okay, this... I don't like this. Because this could go for any Rick Riordan book I got this year, like... literally any of them. Any Rick Riordan book I bought this year is gorgeous. Okay? These covers... what are you doing to me, Rick? Seriously, any Rick Riordan book. Oh, I need more Cafecina. TBR, okay, well I've already told you I plan to read the rest of the Trials of Apollo series before the next one comes out, just to refresh my memory, and I'll try and do book talks for the first 3. You've already got my book 4 book talk. And I have like 50 books on the list that I need to read, but yeah. And obviously I'm reading this one today, so it is technically to be read, but it'll be read by the end of today. I love this. And I have no self-control. Favorite community member? Pollen Bananas Books. Pollen Bananas Books. She was the first booktuber I ever found, the first one I ever subscribed to. And while we do have difference of opinions over quite a few things, she always makes me happy and smile, and I just adore her. And a lot of her recommendations have just turned out for the best. Like, I read Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda because of her. And I read... what else did I read because of her? Nah, I'm sure there's something. But her videos always make me so happy. Like yesterday, I think it was, or it might have been the day before, she released a book haul video and I dropped everything and immediately watched it. Because she's my queen. I own her book even though I don't like contemporaries that much. And a lot of people are going to be like, what do you mean you don't like contemporaries? You've been ranting about Simon vs. Homo Sapiens Agenda. There are exceptions to the rule. But equally, because I trust her, I read To All the Boys I Loved Before. And I want to burn that book. So. It's not that it's badly written or anything. I'm sure the author did a fabulous job, and I'm sure a lot of people loved it. I am not one of them. Anyway. So, that is the mid-year book freakout tag. I hope you enjoyed. These are all the books. I will just quickly put these into a pile. These are all the books I've read this year. I really enjoyed them, and hopefully I'll get through some more by the end of the year. But bearing in... well, that and the World of Ice and Fire book. But please bear with me. I am about to go on placement for 2 weeks. It's going to be in an acute facility, so things are going to be very, very intense for me for the next 2 weeks. It's a mental health placement, guys. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I loved making it. I am so sorry for the delay, but the technical difficulties have been fixed. And I'll see you next time. Okay. Bye, guys.